What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at some Hasbro Marvel Legends Deluxe MCU figures. So first we have ManThing from Werewolf by Night. Of course, he's not exactly MCU. I assume maybe at some point we'll get to see him in the MCU, but it is from the Marvel Studios, live action series. So awesome to see ManThing there. And of course, he was teased in like Thor Ragnarok, where we saw his face on Sakaar and everything. So it looks pretty cool. Of course, it's pretty much just a repaint of the old ManThing, like from the comics and stuff. So not gonna be a whole lot different there. We will compare him, but he does look pretty good there. Of course, you didn't really see a whole lot of like too many details and stuff on him from the Werewolf by Night show, but it still looks good for what he is there. And then from Infinity War, we have the Outriders. So we get this 2-pack. So of course you can easily army build these. Looks pretty cool. Of course, it's just the box, but we see what they're going to look like there. We see the figures on the back. We do get 2 of them, and then they come with an additional head if you don't want to have this like spiky head. It shows they're 7.7 inches tall, so they're going to be bigger figures. We get the 2 arms and of course a set of legs as well. So going to look really cool there as we saw them in Infinity War and everything. So looks pretty awesome for both of these deluxe figures. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with ManThing, whose real name is Theodore Salas. Now, he was a biochemistry professor that developed the SO2 serum for the U.S. Army to grant soldiers immunity to toxic biochemicals. But while living in the Everglades, he began modifying the SO2 formula to create a new super soldier serum. But AIM came after it, so he injected himself with the only sample he had. And while on the run, he crashed his car into the swamp. And this, with the serum, transformed him into a hideous creature known as ManThing. Now, of course, I took most of that from the comics because we haven't really seen much of ManThing, just in Werewolf by Night, where we just learned very little about him. But he has supreme strength and durability, as well as acid generation, regeneration of himself, and can control plants. So he looks pretty cool overall here. Love this design. Always love ManThing just because of his weirdness. And of course, not sure which one came first, but a ripoff of Swamp Thing. So very similar between the two, just different companies of Marvel and DC. But looks really good overall. Awesome that we finally got him in live action. Of course, he was CG. So he's pretty much a creature made up all of plants. So love his head design. Always love with the big red eyes. And then how he has, I always call it like an elephant trunk here in the front. But he has the 3 tendrils. So he's got the 2 off to the side and the 1 down the center. Of course, all made up of different plants and stuff. So as you look through it, you'll just see different plant designs of leaves and mushrooms and branches and all, just like I said, just all sorts of stuff, even a little yellow flower here off to the side. So just a lot of stuff going on with him, but just love the look of the face there. And then his big body. So he's just got the bigger body design. Now, I figured this would be almost a complete reuse of the Build-A-Figure ManThing that we got a long time ago. And I have that figure and we'll compare it. It does have like some similarities, like some pieces you can tell they just reused between the two. But a lot of it on this one is completely new. So I think just by looking at it here real quick, the only thing that's noticeably the same is like probably this midsection all the way to here, like, and maybe from the knees up. So just like this whole section looks like it's complete reuse. Of course, it's repainted on here, but everything else seems to probably be completely new. Oh, and maybe his feet I think are reuse as well, but everything else would be completely new because he's got a lot of like stuff hanging off him on that older figure. But it still looks good overall. Like I said, with the greens, the browns, wish he was more colorful, like had more different colors. He got, some lighter green, darker green, and the browns thrown in as well with a little bit of yellow with that flower up there. But otherwise, it's just mostly just an all green guy, which is what Swamp Thing is. But I just wish they could have added more pops of color to him. But for movements, we get his head that will twist around, so it'll twist all the way around there. You can look down that far and up that far. So pretty nice movements with that. Kind of weird with the neck, it kind of looks awkward as you get in certain positions, but not bad at all. The shoulders will come up to 90 there. Of course, it kind of gets stuck on some of like the mushrooms things there, but it will also rotate all the way around. Then we get the bicep twist and the single elbow joint, which will bend to 90 there. And then we get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, which we can see the cutout there. So crunch forward, crunch back, so nice crunching, and twist all the way around at the waist. The hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around, and the double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, so not too bad at all. Then we go down to the foot that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad at all for his movements. Kind of impressed with this guy. I thought he would have a lot less range of movements and all that, but not bad overall. Now, of course, we can bring in that older ManThing, and unfortunately, it's not held up too well, which I hope this one does more over time, because we can easily use this as a comic ManThing, not like it matters. But we have have this old builder figure, and the ab crunch is like giving out on it, so it always keeps falling forward there. But there we got the two, so you can see even the heads, you know, not reused or anything. Love how, though, it has the brown on. I wish these were kind of brown to make it look cool, but we still get the bigger body, you know, have a lot of similarities. Wouldn't be surprised if they, you know, use this as a base. But if you just look at the textures of like the plants and stuff, it's not reused at all. Same with the arms. Yeah, the arms don't look, oh, maybe the biceps are reused. It kind of looks like they could have that design. But yeah, the forearms and hands are completely different. Like I said, we get the midsections, waist, and then the thighs and stuff are all the same. It looks like just complete reuse between the two. Maybe they've switched out the underwear. So even this has like the new loincloth. So I guess that's not reused. And then the lower legs are different as well. And to the feet that do look the same there. So like I said, a lot of similarities between the two, you know, still big body, you know, not that much different in height or anything compared to this old Build-A-Figure and this figure. And like I said, some reuse, but a lot of new going on here, which did completely surprise me. But accessory wise, the only thing he comes with is some extra hands. So if you want to have some claw hands instead of the fist hands, which I think I do maybe like the claws, so I'll switch them out. And even those claws are not reused from that original figure. So looks pretty good there overall for ManThing. Now, like I said, unfortunately with him being in Werewolf by Night, we don't really get to see him a whole lot, but we get to see him a little, and it was pretty cool what we saw. So don't really, you know, have too much to really go off for him or anything, but it does look really cool. Now we just need to get a Jack Russell, the Werewolf by Night himself, to go along with it, but it looks pretty cool overall, and love adding this ManThing to our collection. And then we also have the Outriders, which again are MCU based, and we saw them mostly in Avengers Infinity War, but also saw them in Avengers Endgame. But they are genetically engineered humanoid creatures that Thanos would use to find new planets inhabited by a weak species that he could then annihilate. So they have leathery black skin. Most of them have 4 arms, but some have 6, and they lack eyes but have mouths full of razor sharp teeth. But the Outriders were deployed during the Battle of Wakanda and the Battle for Earth in those 2 movies, as I mentioned, and they have superhuman physical abilities, but they mindlessly follow basic commands and operate solely on bloodlust. So it's nice to get these two. Like I've mentioned in the past more recently, that we're kind of phasing out of like MCU based figures and stuff. Of course, we just got ManThing, but with that look, you could use it for comics. And then we got these because we doubt we'll probably ever get Outriders comic based, you know, because they don't look really that much different. But it's still cool to have them in this design, so we'll just use them for our comic characters. But it looks pretty good. Of course, 2 identical, the only difference being the head design. Now, as I mentioned, some have 6 arms, and in at least it seems like from the comics, those with 6 arms have the protrusions on their head, so I assume more like this one, where just the basic 4-arm one should have more heads like this. So we'll just take a look at one, and we'll go and just do this one with the normal head on it, but it looks pretty good overall. Just like I said, the black skin with a lot of this, I think it's supposed to be like gold, but it's like a silvery gold here, so, you know, silver with a little bit of gold tint to it. But we get the mouth design there again with all those. Love how it's got the mouth open, you can see inside there. Again, no eyes or anything on it. Love how it's got the spines going down the back as well. Of course, the forearms, so the 2 set of arms there going down into the legs, how you got the 2-pronged like toe there designed, and again that gold running all through the black, even on the claws there and stuff. So it just looks really cool with design. Of course, it is really big. I don't have any basic size characters to look at against them, but they are really big. But move-wise, we get that'll twist all the way around, and it can look down that far and then up that far. So not the best movements in the head, but you do get some movement in there if you want to adjust them. The shoulders will come up to actually over 90 because there's so much room in there, and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. That's a little bit stiff there, but can bend up that far, it looks like, and wrist will twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. And of course, we get the other arm as well, so different joint a little bit, so it's down there low, still comes up to 90, rotates around, bicep twist, the double elbow, again stiff with that one as well, and the wrist will twist around and flex back and forth. So pretty much the same hand, just, you know, lower down there. Then we go to the ab crunch, so it's nice that we still get like ab crunch and everything, even with the additional arm build in there. So we get the upper ab crunch back and forth, and we'll twist around, and then we get the lower ab crunch, so just the cutout crunch there, so crunch back and forth. Then we get the hips that'll come up that far, pretty much to 90, since it's got a permanent bend in the leg. It's hard to tell, but it looks like it's coming straight off the body there at 90 and out to the side. We get a thigh twist that'll twist all the way around, and the double knee joint, like I said, it's already at a bend, so it's not gonna, you know, fully bend there, but it can bend up that far to the back, which isn't bad at all. And then we go down to the foot that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad for the movements. Of course, you get some limitation with the way it's built and designed, but pretty good range and everything that it's got here. Like, it did surprise me quite a bit how much movement it's got. And of course, this was a two-back, so we have the other one as I showed there. Only difference being the head. So we get the head design that has like the little mandibles coming out to the side and then the protrusions coming off the top of there to the side. So just different heads if you want to sort of vary them up or anything. But if not, we do get an extra head just like the first one to put on this one. So we can have just the same figure over and over again to like army build it out, which is cool. So that all looked pretty awesome. Like I said, they kind of belong with Thanos and the Black Order and all that. Don't really have any of those figures anymore since we got rid of our MCU characters. But again, with them being from the MCU, we're still going to use them as comic-based characters. So we also have a Chitauri. Now this is a Diamond Select Chitauri because it's been the only one that's come out that we like. So we use this as a comic-based Chitauri as well to go along with our Outriders there. So more of the army of Thanos, which is pretty cool. But overall, it's a nice figure. You know, not like the coolest design or anything, but I do like that. It's got the forearms and they built that in with still all the joints and everything. So still looks really nice and works out pretty good. So really nice for the Outriders. So that's a bit for our Marvel Legends MCU-based characters of Man-Thing and the Outriders. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to use them mostly for comic designs because, you know, there's not really anything that makes these movie designs, you know, since they're not humans with the actor likenesses or anything. So we can just use these for our comic-based characters. And they both look really cool. Love the Man-Thing. Like I said, definitely like this Man-Thing compared to the other one. I think I maybe like the head on the other one more just because that's more comic accurate. But still, I love the body and everything about this one. And the Outriders are really nice as well. So nice to get them in the 2-pack. And then we get the different heads so we can, you know, differentiate them and all that, and they just work out really nice with their extra set of arms. So really cool figures overall, but let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.